Good evening, and welcome to Weird-O-Rama. I am your host, Victor von Psychotron, and all of us at Weird-O-Rama will always strive to bring you the creepy.
He keeled over, sir. All of a sudden. He's dead, sir.
The strange.
Our farms. Our cities.
And of course, the weird.
Who do you think you're playing with, school children?
Tonight we have another double feature for you, featuring an episode of Tales of Tomorrow starring a young Paul Newman and an episode of Captain Midnight. We will also have 2 more episodes of 1940 Green Hornet cliffhanger serial. We are here in Indianapolis, Indiana at Indiana Comic-Con, which is quite a busy convention, as you can see. Sold out, in fact. We're having a good time here, and we will feature interviews with many of the attendees. So, lock all of your doors and windows. Turn off all of your lights. Sit back, have a cup of tea, or Ovaltine if you prefer, and enjoy tonight's double feature.
Brought to you by Ovaltine. Chocolate-flavored Ovaltine. Delicious, nutritious, instant Ovaltine. The fortified food drink that tops them all. Now for a visit to the Secret Squadron Hall of Fame.
Well, here we are, Pat, Peggy. Every one of these great athletes is a member of the Secret Squadron.
Gee, Crazy Legs Hurch.
Yes, one of football's all-time greats. And Duke Snyder, a real big leader and home run slugger for the Brooklyn Dodgers. Peggy, you should know who this is.
Florence Chadwick.
Yes. Florence holds the world's record for swimming the English Channel. The only woman ever to swim it both ways. Let's join her on the beach. Florence, how do you keep yourself in condition?
By getting plenty of sleep, exercise, and the right kind of foods. And I drink chocolate-flavored Ovaltine. Remember, I said Ovaltine. An athlete wants real nourishment, not just a flavoring for milk or a drink with just a few vitamins.
Right, Florence. Athletes do need the right kind of nourishment, and Ovaltine gives you extra vitamins, minerals, and other important food elements.
And chocolate-flavored Ovaltine is delicious, too.
Right again, Florence. Boys and girls, drink your Ovaltine every day, just as Florence Chadwick says. Get chocolate-flavored Ovaltine.
On a mountaintop high above a large city stands the headquarters of a man devoted to the cause of freedom and justice. A war hero who has never stopped fighting against his country's enemies. A private citizen who is dedicating his life to the struggle against evil men everywhere. Captain Midnight.
This is a very interesting device, Tut.
Well, that demonstrates a principle we may find use for someday.
What is it?
It's a radiation concentrator.
Looks like a piece of glass to me.
That's a lens, Icky. And just as the lens in a magnifying glass will concentrate the rays of the sun in order to create fire, so this lens will concentrate the radiations in fissionable material to do the same thing.
Show him how it works, Tut.
You see this stuff right here? That's a piece of uranium-bearing ore. That's one of the fissionable materials in its raw state. Now, you see this block of wood?
Well, sure I see it. It's a piece of wood.
Yeah, but you watch what happens when I put the lens between the rock and the wood.
Hey, say, that's pretty good. I bet every Boy Scout in the world would like one of those things for starting fires.
The only trouble with that, Icky, you'd have to have a chunk of radioactive material before you could use it.
Oh, yeah. Joy killer. We got company. You know him?
Yes, it's Mr. Hobson. He's an important intelligence official from Washington. Let him in, Icky.
Any suggestions for improving this?
Well, if we could build up the X factor of the zebulon element, we might be able to generate a heat of really useful intensity.
We could try.
Let me play around with this for a while, Ted.
Morning, gentlemen.
Hello there, Mr. Hobson. How are you?
Nice to see you again.
This is Ichabod Mudd, my co-pilot and general assistant.
Mr. Mudd?
And this is Aristotle Jones, my lab man.
Mr. Jones.
Pleasure, sir.
Sit down, won't you?
Thank you.
Now, what brings you here, Mr. Hobson?
Well, I'm on a secret assignment to investigate an unlicensed and very unfriendly radio transmitter that's been operating south of the border.
You say has been operating. What's the problem?
It went off the air last Wednesday.
Well, if they're not sending messages, you got nothing to worry about.
On the contrary, it's when an enemy station is off the air that we worry about it. Now that we've broken their code, we want to know what they're saying.
And who they're saying it to.
That's right.
Have you any idea why it went off the air?
This transmitter is located in a rather remote section of Mexico. And it's our guess they're having difficulty getting the necessary repairs made.
Well, usually these enemy radio stations are headquarters for bigger things.
Just before this station went off the air, they sent an incomplete message referring to shipments of fissionable materials. We must know what this message is about. It may be of vital importance to the entire Western Hemisphere.
Mr. Hobson, we'd like to volunteer to help.
I was hoping you'd say that. But, how would you operate?
Well, we could go to Mexico. Mickey and I could be traveling fix-it men.
An excellent idea. As fix-it men, you'd be free to travel anywhere without arousing suspicion.
We'll work in an area where we know their transmitter's located. They'll bring their set to us to be repaired, we hope.
Well, at least that's the theory.
And I can monitor the transmitter from here.
There's one thing I must warn you about. These men are dangerous. And if they find out what you're really up to, well, I don't think they'd stop at anything.
We'll chance that.
I'll arrange to have the truck with all your equipment in it when you get there. Good luck. And be careful.
Thank you. We will.
Hey, Cole, here we come. Hey, we put down the Santa Del Rio?
I filed a flight plan to Dos Flores. That's the nearest airport to Santa Del Rio, and that's where Mr. Hobson said he'd have our equipment waiting for us.
Good.
Dos Flores Airport. It's jet aircraft 7700, 13 miles southwest of the field, 8,000 feet. Landing instructions. Over. Well, there it is, just like Mr. Hobson said it would be.
Yeah, he sure did make all the arrangements, didn't he?
We repair everything. Radio's our specialty.
Everything. That takes in a lot of territory. Yeah, but it's good bait to catch our fish. Say, this is all right.
Well, if they go on the air again with that illegal transmitter, we can monitor it with this.
We can also use it to get in touch with Mr. Hobson if we have to.
I said we might find them around Santa Del Rio. Place, isn't it?
Yeah. Doesn't look like a place for spies to hide out.
Well, we're in business already. Let's see what we can do with this thing.
Senor Davis, this is Nico.
Yeah, what's up, Nico?
There are a couple of Americans in town with a fix-it truck. They say they can fix anything, especially radios.
This may be the break we need. Look, don't let them out of your sight. I'll be there in a half hour. Oh, Nico, make sure these guys are all right. We don't want any trouble.
Buenos dias.
Yeah, looks like I might.
I have something I want you to fix.
Oh, well, step right up. We fix anything.
These watch have great sentimental value. My father stole it from Pancho Villa.
Well, I tell you, my man's busy right now, but I'll be glad to fix it. No. Don't worry. Mi especialidad. Minute. Springwood. Not shockproof.
Caramba! You broke my watch. I'll kill you.
Hold it, amigo. What seems to be the trouble?
This hombre es loco na cabeza. He take my good watch to fix. The watch my father stole from a most distinguished hombre. And instead of fixing it, he make it go poof. And the little parts that are supposed to be inside come outside. Just like that.
Well, will the gallant caballero accept our most humble apologies? Accidents sometimes do happen.
But what about my watch?
That's a very simple matter, senor.
Hey.
Accept this replacement with our esteem and the compliments of Senor Mudd and myself.
Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias. Well, the watch should never work anyway.
You are in business here in Mexico, senor?
Yes, we are, sir.
Then you will oblige to show me your work permits.
Of course. Hickey, show the captain our work permits.
Right. Is he kidding? I don't have any work permits.
I told you to bring them.
Yeah, but I thought a work permit was a gag, like a left-handed monkey wrench or a cloud stretcher. I just wanted to say I need a permit to work.
I'm sorry, Captain. It seems that my partner has neglected the permits.
In that case, I will have to ask you to accompany me to the cárcel.
Cárcel? What's that?
The jail.
Oh, jail?
You will please to accompany these motorcycle officers.
This is a pretty kettle of fish. We come down here on an important mission and get ourselves slammed into the clink because we don't have any work permits. Look, we're wasting time. Why don't you pay our fine so we can get out of here?
Because I want to see what might happen.
I'll tell you what'll happen. Our beards will grow so long, nobody will recognize us.
Now, take it easy. I have a hunch there's more to this arrest than appears on the surface.
Look,
Senores, come outside and enjoy some of our fine Mexican sunshine.
You mean you're letting us out of here?
That is right, senor. A friend of yours has put up the money for your fine.
A friend of ours?
Hiya, guys. Captain give you the good news?
He sure did.
Yes, he did, and we're much obliged. But why should you do this for us?
Well, you don't suppose I'd let a couple of Americans rot in jail without doing something about it, do you? My name is Davis, Henry D. Davis. I'm in the exporting business down here.
I'm Jim Albright. This is my partner, Ichabod Mudd.
You can call me Icky.
Hi, Icky. Say, I see by your truck outside you fellas are fix-it men.
What do you have in mind?
An electric shaver. I can't find anyone in this burg that's even seen one, let alone fix it.
Tell you what we'll do. Since you've been so nice to us, we'll fix your shaver for free.
It's a deal. Say, why don't you be my guest? Nothing I'd like better than to shoot the breeze with a couple of guys from the States.
Fine.
I have my car outside. Why don't you get in your truck and follow me?
We'll be right behind you.
This is a pretty nice fella, huh?
Boys and girls, watch Johnny Jones as he shows you what Captain Midnight means when he tells you to drink instant Ovaltine for rocket power. Now, later, here's Johnny with his friend Wilbur. As you know, Johnny lives up to the Secret Squadron pledge to drink Ovaltine every day. But Wilbur isn't a Secret Squadron member. He doesn't get the proper foods. And he doesn't know that Ovaltine is a real food supplement. See what happens when they start the race. There goes Johnny, rocket-powered. But poor Wilbur, he's out of gas. He just doesn't have what it takes. You see, Ovaltine is more than just a flavoring for milk. Ovaltine contains important amounts of vitamins, minerals, and other food elements to help give you rocket power and to help you be like Captain Midnight himself. Ask your mother to get you instant chocolate-flavored Ovaltine today and be a loyal member of the Secret Squadron and a leader in your gang. Why don't you start drinking Ovaltine today?
This is it.
What do you manufacture here?
Mexican pottery. Big market for the stuff in Europe.
Say, I'd like to take a look at some of it.
There's not much to see. Well, this is my warehouse, office, and what have you.
Where did this come from?
Well, that piece is from the state of Pueblo.
Oh, I thought you said you manufactured the stuff yourself.
Well, we do, some of it. Let's not talk about pottery, unless you're interested.
Well, I am interested in it. Do you use local clay?
I had no idea you had so much interest in pottery. I'll show you around if you like. But first, I'd like you to have a look at my radio.
Radio?
Yeah, I'm a radio ham. About the only means I have of talking to Americans and keeping in touch with the States.
What seems to be wrong with it?
You'll have to tell me. Santo del Rio is no place to get it fixed. Take a look at it, will you?
See you, Davis.
Oh, excuse me a minute. See what you can do with it, will you? I'll be right back.
Okay.
This is it. This is what we've been looking for.
I can't believe Davis is an enemy. He's too nice a guy.
But the evidence is all against him. Look at these call letters. 62Y40. Well, let's see how quickly we can get this thing back into operation so that Mr. Hobson can tune in that message. Fissionable materials. Fissionable materials. I wonder.
In this building?
I don't know. I'm going to take a look around. First, I'm going to get some tools from the truck. Pretend like you're working on the transmitter. Okay.
So you're just fix-it men, are you? With a powerful radio hidden in a panel truck?
Well, we're just radio enthusiasts like you.
You're a pretty smart guy, Captain Midnight.
So you know who I am?
Yeah, I know who you are, and now I know you really can fix that transmitter. So get inside and get busy. Hey, what is this? Don't ask questions. Get that set fixed.
No, hold it. They got us covered.
That's talking sense. If this transmitter isn't in good working order when you're through...
It'll be in perfect working order.
What sort of an American are you anyway?
I'm not an American. Just convenient for me to seem to be one. Keep them covered, Nico. And watch out for them. They're tricky customers.
Of course. Davis is using this transmitter as a contact. We've got to find out who that contact is. First, we've got to get rid of Nico. Hook these wires into the transformer. Let me know when you're ready.
Hold these, will you, Icky?
Hey, wait a minute. What are you doing?
Look, I can't handle this alone. You want the radio fixed or don't you? Hold these.
No. Just there you are. I will help you myself.
Okay. You got them?
See, I have them.
tie him up.
You hombres won't get away with this. I promise you will pay for it.
Ah, shut up.
Put him in that chair.
Come on.
I'll leave you to fix the radio. Run a new lead to the condenser. You're back on the air.
Okay.
Put out tone signals with Mr. Hobson and tell Nova Set's back on the air.
Who do you think you're playing with, school children?
Get everything you can and load it on the truck right away. This will be our last shipment.
But what's the hurry?
Captain Midnight has come here, and that means someone is suspicious of our activities.
Well, who could suspect that the clay of which these simple pots are made of contain radioactive materials?
I don't know, but I won't feel safe here any longer. When the radio is fixed, I'll get through to Captain Zabakin on the ship, arrange for him to meet us on the coast. We've got to get out of here today. Good work. All right, tie him up. Now, he's detected the presence of our fissionable material. We'll be miles out to sea before he can tell anyone about it. All right, come on. Get your hands up. Don't make a move. Get him untied.
What's that you say, hombre, about school children?
Oh, no. High school graduates I was talking about. Okay.
62Y40 calling Captain Zabakin on the SS Grovich. The last of the pottery is on its way, Captain Zabakin, and I'm leaving immediately. Prepare to take us aboard your ship as soon as we arrive on the coast. That is all. Out.
Dickie, come on.
I can't. I'm all tied up. Davis just left. He talked to a ship at sea.
Tell me later. We've got to catch him. Come on. Capitan. There's your man.
Gracias, Captain Midnight. Ándale, pues.
Say, Chief, how'd you happen to set up the roadblock just at the right moment?
I will let our friend Captain Midnight explain.
Well, as you know, Icky, the United States and Mexican governments work very closely together in matters concerning hemisphere defense.
Very closely, senores.
When Davis sent out that message on the repaired transmitter, the Capitan was listening.
You weren't?
But of course. You have been watched ever since Mr. Hobson arranged with us for that truck that you found waiting for you.
By one of the Capitan's men, Detective Sergeant Gonzalez.
A detective?
Oh. And this one belongs to you.
I thought I'd never see it again.
When Detective Gonzalez noticed one of Davis's men watching our fix-it truck with unusual interest, he arranged to have us jailed to bring Davis out into the open.
And you will be pleased to learn that the man referred to as Captain Zavakin has been apprehended in a coastal port and the entire shipload of radioactive pottery confiscated.
You've done a great job.
Without your help, Captain Midnight, our success would have been impossible. May your people and ours always work together in harmony for the preservation of our common ideals.
Captain, I speak for all Americans when I say I share your wish.
Now for a visit to the Secret Squadron Hall of Fame.
Gee, the Secret Squadron Hall of Fame.
Yes, Jack, and every one of these great athletes is a member of the Secret Squadron. For example, Crazy Legs Hirsch, one of football's all-time greats. And Florence Chadwick, world-famous English Channel swimmer. And here is Duke Snyder. His 4 home runs during the 1955 World Series led the Brooklyn Dodgers to their first World Championship. Let's join Duke in the clubhouse. Duke, what do you do to keep yourself in top condition?
Well, Captain Midnight, I get plenty of sleep, exercise, and the right kind of foods. And I drink chocolate-flavored Ovaltine. Remember, I said Ovaltine, not one of those imitation milk flavorings, or the other kind with just a few vitamins.
That's right, Duke. Ovaltine's got what it takes. 27 vitamins, minerals, and other essential food elements that make Ovaltine such a rich source of nourishment.
And Ovaltine tastes good, too.
Right again, Duke. Boys and girls, drink your Ovaltine every day, just as Duke Snyder says. Get chocolate-flavored Ovaltine. Now, get your pencil and paper ready for our 3-word secret clue to next week's exciting adventure. Write down these numbers. First word, 3, 8, 18, 7. Second word, 7, 5, 2, 5, 4, 1. Third word, 8, 9, 5, 3, 8, 5, 22, 7. Now, set your decoder for C9 and solve next week's exciting adventure. See you next week. Out.
got you, Hornet. You better give up and come out. Dead or alive, they said. It makes no difference to me. All right, Mr. Hornet. Where's the Hornet? Oh, don't tell me I've killed you.
Green Hornet?
I had him trapped. Tried to overpower him. He escaped through that window. But how in the world did he ever get through there? And there he goes. Sure, he must be the devil himself. You sure none of them bullets hit you, Reed?
No, I'm all right.
That's twice the Green Hornet slipped through my fingers.
You're as slippery as an eel, Michael. You got away from me, too.
I'm nearly with you by the looks of you.
Well, I guess there's nothing left to do but be on our way.
So you got the Green Hornet, eh? Nice going, Jinx.
Yeah, you seem kind of glad he got away.
Well, maybe I am. And if you ask me, I think he's giving the crooks a run for their money.
Yeah, well, wait until after the election and watch the Canby administration give the Green Hornet a run for his money.
You talk as if John Canby were already elected.
It's in the bag, Casey, because that boy has promised to really clean up the town.
Oh, Casey. Reed's in his office, isn't he?
He's with Judge Stanton, head of the Non-Partisan Voters League.
Suffering mackerel, little many fish.
Even at this late hour, if the Sentinel will come out in favor of Hargrave, he'd be elected mayor tomorrow.
Why should the Sentinel take a stand against Canby, his opponent? He has a clean record.
I have reason to believe that every crook in town is backing Canby.
Have you any definite proof of that?
No.
Well, I'm sorry, Judge. Unless you can bring forward definite proof, the Sentinel will have to maintain its neutral stand.
You're making a mistake, Reed.
I don't think so.
Ogden, these figures gathered from Canby's precinct captains indicate his election.
Then it's in the bag?
We've got to make sure. Sit down. On these wards here, we've got to muster more sure votes for Canby.
Oh, that'll be a cinch. The boys have made enough false registrations to elect an alley cat mayor.
Well, if we can make Canby mayor, our syndicate will clean up millions.
Yeah. It'll be easier to get rid of Britt Reed than the Green Hornet.
Britt Reed.
Good morning, Mr. Reed.
Morning.
Vote's coming in heavy.
That's fine. I'm always glad to see people take an interest in civic affairs.
Michael Axford.
That's Britt Reed of the Sentinel. He's done more for this town than any man I know of.
That's a true word for you. He's done just that.
Names, gentlemen?
Scanlon's the name. George Scanlon.
Here, you can't do that.
Oh, no?
Stopping an attempted murder. That car going away there.
Michael, you call an ambulance and then stay here. I'm going after those crooks. Evidence of intimidation and corruption in all precincts. 4 men have been killed, and a dozen others sent to hospitals. That's all, Miss Case. Transcribe it and get a rewrite man on it.
Yes, sir.
I want an extra on the street as quickly as possible. Judge Stanton was right. The criminal element of this city is lined up solidly behind Canby.
No casualties among the Candy people, eh?
Not one.
That's not all. The Canby crowd are voting ghosts.
Are you sure of that?
Dead sure. Registration lists have names of people that have been dead for years.
I want an extra on the streets quickly. On the way. Axford, get my car on in front, on the double.
Yes, sir.
Pick up a camera and meet me downstairs in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Hey, that car looks familiar. Thought so. Those birds are repeaters. That's the 3rd polling place I've seen them go in today. Let's go.
Here comes that same car.
Look, man of action, don't point. It isn't good manners, and you're liable to get our butts knocked off.
You think that car contains the same men we saw voting at the last polling place?
Absolutely.
Oh, you're wrong, Jenks. That's the same car, but they're not the same men. They're not repeaters.
Keep your shirt on, boss. Get to the car and be ready for a quick getaway.
Got a match?
You were right, Jenks. They are repeaters. Voting twice the same place by disguising themselves with masks.
Well, what are we running away from?
We've got to save these pictures. They're valuable evidence. Pull over at that car.
Hoodlums away.
X-ray, all about that election scandal. X-ray. Get that central X-ray. Ballot boxes stuffed with illegal votes. X-ray. Read about those stuffed ballot boxes. X-ray. That kid be elected mayor. X-ray. Read about the new mayor. X-ray. That John should be elected mayor. X-ray.
Congratulations, Mayor Canby. Come over in the morning and I'll give you a list of appointments I want you to make.
You're the district attorney, and there's plenty of evidence to prove wholesale fraud in this election. What do you want me to do? Subpoena the ballots and put them in a safe place. Why? So we can fingerprint them and prove illegal handling. That's a great idea. But it'll take 2 days to obtain possession of those ballots through a court order.
Well, that won't do. The minute the gang in back of Canby find out they're going to be subpoenaed, they'll destroy them.
I'm afraid that's the best I can do.
All right.
Freedom Sentinel court will order ballots impounded tomorrow. Register. I got the paper here.
Ogden, those ballots have got to be destroyed tonight.
Where are they now?
Stored in the tri-state warehouse.
The warehouse might burn down.
No, the fire might be put out before the ballots were destroyed. You better have the boys hijack them out of the warehouse and burn them on the road somewhere.
Okay. Dean will know how to handle it.
Get the Hornet's disguise, kiddo.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Banks Incorporated?
Yes, sir.
This is the Daily Sentinel speaking. We've had some heavy collections come in since the banks have closed.
Want an armored car?
Yes, that's right. An armored car at the loading platform as soon as possible. Yes, thanks. Goodbye.
What you do now, Mr. Britt?
I'm afraid, Cato, the Green Hornet is going to have to do what the law has been unable to do. Prevent those ballots from falling into the hands of crooks.
What do you fellas want?
Somebody here phoned for a bank car.
Nobody told me nothing about it. Come inside, we'll find out.
Sorry, old man, but you'll be all right in a few minutes.
That's the last of the ballots.
Sure you got them all?
Yeah. I checked them off this copy of the warehouse receipts I snitched from the election commissioner's office.
Okay, Pete. Phone the chief, we're loaded. Hold it. The Green Hornet.
And what do you want? For you to do exactly as you're told. There's an armored car coming here. I want you to unload the cases from that truck and put them in the armored car.
We are not.
All right, you asked for it.
No. Don't shoot. We'll do what you say. Yeah, that's the last one.
Keep them covered. I'll take a look. Nice work. I'll be back for them later. I'll take the Westwood Pike to Valley Spring Road. Then use the cutoff. You follow me.
Hello, this is Pete. The Hornet down Dean and Corey with that devil gun. He's on his way with the ballots.
You poor saps. 3 against 1. You let that racketeer outsmart you.
I'm telling you, he can still stop him.
What?
Going by the way of the Westwood Pike to Valley Spring Road. Andy's up at the Morrison place. Phone him and have him get busy.
But this'll stop the armored car, Andy.
car. Come on.
Yum, yum. It's a meal in itself. Our all-meat super dog. Enjoy one now.
A cup of whipped hot chocolate tastes great right now. Carnation's Cocoa Supreme, the delicious hot chocolate drink with the light, delicate flavor you like. Wouldn't a good hot cup taste good right now? Ask for a cup of whipped hot chocolate at our snack bar.
Show starts in 10 minutes.
I'm here with Mary at the Indiana Comic-Con. And Mary, we are asking people, if you could take any superhero or supervillain and put them on a sitcom, who would you choose?
Batman.
Any particular sitcom? Say Fighting Crime on Gilligan's Island or something like that?
Probably not Gilligan's Island. Maybe Full House. That would be interesting.
That would be very interesting. How he would keep his secret identity with all those wacky kids running around.
That'd be crazy. It'd be pretty interesting.
I'm enjoying, I think we are long-lost relatives,
Yeah, we
perhaps?
look pretty similar.
Yes.
I like it. It's cool.
I think I will see you at the next family reunion.
Yes, I think I will too.
I'm here with Andrew at the Indiana Comic-Con, and Andrew, we are asking people, if you could take any superhero or supervillain and put them on a sitcom, who would you choose?
I think we gotta go Iron Man and Joker.
Oh, on any particular sitcom?
The Odd Couple.
That would be perfect.
I think it would be really messed up, especially if the Joker kind of gets in and creates his own suit.
Indeed. I can just imagine the flower squirting thing on a suit of armor would be.
Oh no, not fly. It can't be shooting water at that point. Just
That is
the
true.
Pulsar ray.
Pulsar rays, flamethrower, something like that.
We might get that steampunk kind of
Yes.
Iron Man that was promised in Iron Man
Indeed.
3, but kind of.
And Tony Stark's always trying to throw some elite party, and the Joker's always messing things up.
He's trying to eat little waiters, and the toothpicks are getting caught in the sides of his mouth.
Precisely.
We're going with Heath Ledger. Just why that? Just a corpse sitting in the corner at this point. He just moves slightly, and Iron Man's messed up.
Indeed. Always feeding him alcohol on the side. Slipping it into his orange juice.
Most is a good way to start the morning.
You have a podcast, is this true?
Yes, I run a Man in His Pod.
And what is the podcast about?
Life, Comic-Con, nerds, fetish models apparently are now showing up all the time. so-
Excellent.
Guess everybody likes a fetish model.
True, we know several.
And you draw a couple of the models.
Oh, yes. We have many of them who work for us. That's indeed true.
Do you have a favorite one?
Our favorite? Oh, that is a tough one to call. There are so many nice ones that we've worked with. April Hunter, Samantha the Muscle Goddess. We just worked with her in Atlanta, Georgia. That was wonderful. And your podcast can be found where?
On iTunes, Stitcher, Zune, whatever you got it's there.
Is there a particular website or anything like that?
HeavyMetalHobbit.com.
HeavyMetalHobbit.com. I am here at the Indiana Comic-Con with Katie and Marquis, and ladies, we are asking people, if you could take any superhero or supervillain and put them on a sitcom, who would you choose?
Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Joker.
Joker. Any particular sitcoms you would put them on?
That's a good question. That is a good question. I don't know that I have an answer for that one. I don't know.
Say-
Put Deadpool on Glee.
Deadpool on that? Yes. That would be interesting.
That would be good.
I would imagine the musical numbers would change immediately.
It would be a good one. I like that. I'm sticking that. That's my answer.
And you could put the Joker on perhaps, I don't know, Gilligan's Island?
That'd be interesting.
Brady
Full
Bunch?
House.
Full House. Full House is
Perfect.
that is a popular choice today, actually. Yes.
Really?
Yes, I could see the Joker interacting with all those wacky kids.
Yes, definitely.
I'm not so sure how long Joey would last in the house, however.
Probably not very long.
I'm here with Megan at the Indiana Comic-Con, and Megan, we are asking people, if you could put any superhero or supervillain into a sitcom, who would you choose?
It would probably be Deadpool.
He is a popular choice.
Yes.
And any particular one?
I would put him in a movie, and it would be 3 Men and a Baby. But it would be Deadpool, 2 Men and a Baby.
That would change the entire dynamic of that film.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure the baby wouldn't last long.
And either would the other two men.
No, and there'd be chimichangas everywhere.
Now, you have a horror-themed business, I was told.
I do. I own Bad Juju, Antiques, Oddities, and Costumes. And we work in haunted houses doing props and costumes and restructuring them so they can actually do profits and teaching actors how to do their jobs.
And are you based in Indiana?
We are based in Indiana, and we travel pretty much anywhere that we're asked as long as my little car will take me.
And do you have a website or anything like that?
I have a Facebook. You just look up Bad Juju Antiques and Oddities, and we also have a side business that is Bad Juju Sideshow.
Excellent. Yeah. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I'm here with Darth Hate at the Indiana Comic-Con, and Mr. Hate, we are asking people, if you could put any superhero or supervillain into a sitcom, who would you choose?
It would have to be Deadpool.
Deadpool, a popular choice. In any particular sitcom?
2.5 Men would probably be a lot better, simply because he would actually make it 2.5 men by slicing someone in half.
I was thinking the same thing. It could almost be, by that point, 4 or 5.5 men, depending on how he chopped them.
Indeed.
Are you enjoying the convention, sir?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. Well, thank you for your time and for not cleaving me in two with your saber.
You have the Force with you. You would make a fine Sith Lord.
I do have the look, I suppose.
Yes, you do.
I'm here at the Indiana Comic-Con with Keenan and Anthony, and gentlemen, we are asking people, if you could put any superhero or supervillain on a sitcom, who would you choose?
Dr. Doom.
Deadpool. On any particular show?
Modern Family. Modern Family.
That would be an interesting dynamic, with both of them in the same episode, especially.
Or maybe just give them their own show. Doom and D&D, Doom and Deadpool.
They could run a coffee shop or something simple like that.
All those shenanigans they get into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And dating. Don't forget dating.
Oh, yes, dating, yes. Yes, trying to bring ladies home, and Deadpool's always chopping up someone in the corner, and Dr. Doom's always talking in the third person and ranting.
Exactly. Yes. That would be awesome.
I am here at the Indiana Comic-Con with David and Ness, and we are asking people, if you could put any superhero or supervillain on a sitcom, who would you choose?
I would use Cloud Strife.
I would choose Gambit from X-Men.
On any particular show?
I'd put him in a game show. I would love that. I'm not gonna lie, pretty dope.
I picked King of Queens because that's already silly enough.
That would change the entire dynamic of the show.
Yes, it would.
Any particular game show?
Whammy.
Press your luck.
Yeah, press your luck.
Yeah, press your luck.
And then, like, when he gets angry, he could blow up the screen with the cards.
Absolutely, he could.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
I am here with Sean at the Indiana Comic Convention and his father. And we, gentlemen, we are asking people, if you could put any superhero or supervillain into a sitcom, who would you choose?
I would put the character we came up with, Natman, who is basically a mock villain, totally sucks at his job. His name's Nathaniel Mann, that's why he came up with Natman, and his only power is he has sharp elbows. And I would have him teamed up with the Killer Moth.
Good choice.
Probably be like sitcom, kind of like Friends. So it's like Joey and Chandler.
Yes, yes. And you could have them, them dealing with the soup Nazi to be a completely different thing.
Yes.
So you are an artist, I was told.
Yes, I am.
What's your preferred medium?
Digital art.
Excellent.
Mostly. I do a whole lot of digital art on DeviantArt. Mr. Buckaloo at DeviantArt is my thing, and I have over 500 pictures on there.
Good heavens. And a webcomic, I was told?
Yes, I have a webcomic called The Perfect Roommate. It's about a cat girl who lives with two guys, and it's P-U-R-R, perfect. And that's actually going to be coming back real soon, and I'm going to be doing the writing and the artwork for that. instead of just the artwork.
Excellent. I am here with Miss Applewhite at the Indiana Comic-Con, and Miss White, we're asking people if you could put any superhero or supervillain into a sitcom, who would you choose?
I would choose Scarlet Witch because she did not have such a good childhood, and everyone dying around her in every episode in Happy Tree Friends would be very, very interesting.
That would be very interesting to see what she could do with those probability powers in such an environment.
Yes, and also she goes crazy every once in a while, so that would be very interesting to see.
That is true. She does lose her mind now and then. I am here with Madison at Indiana Comic-Con in Madison. We're asking people if you could put any superhero or villain into a sitcom, who would you choose?
I would choose Mystique.
Why Mystique?
Because she can shapeshift. She can be any character she wants. So I think it would kind of be an upset to any plot, especially in a sitcom like Seinfeld where there is no plot.
Ah, yes.
So I think she could, playing any and all characters, she could kind of sort of, put different spins and different relationships between characters if she really wanted to be an instigator.
That is true. Now, you're with the Performance Crew?
I am. I'm not here with them now. I'm kind of incognito, supporting our project, the Tantra Project, because we're fucking awesome. But yeah, I'm kind of just going as myself today. But we do shadow casting of Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, delightful.
And we also do Repo the Genetic Opera, and we call ourselves Transylvanian Lip Treatment. So, and we're based in Irvington. It's on the east side of Indianapolis. So we kind of do a lot, though. We don't just do shadow casting. We do other things like cons, and we do some internet things. And this year we're kicking off our project of filming the what was supposed to be the original sequel of the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, so we're kind of getting all that squared away. Yeah, other than that, we kind of just pop in here and there, and we do DJ events too.
Excellent.
Yeah. You see us almost anywhere.
Wonderful. So are you online anywhere?
Yeah, right now the only thing that's kept us above water is Facebook and all that other Twitter and YouTube crap because, publications and all the other copyright laws that follows Rocky Horror and the other movies. It's like really, one word or way it's advertised. If it's publicly accessible on certain things, then they just won't allow it. So yeah, it's really all word of mouth, which is kind of good because you want the fans to be the ones there. You don't want just anybody going. Kind of like when Glee did Rocky Horror, kind of upset a lot of us.
Certainly.
Yeah, it's kind of like everybody trying to redo your favorite movie just because it's popular,
Indeed. Well, thank you for your time, madam.
Well, thank you. It's a nice strong handshake.
Oh, thank you.
You've been practicing with that hand?
Well, yes.
You didn't call me?
No.
Okay.
Am I in trouble?
You fail.
I am here with Alvin and Joe at the Indiana Comic-Con, and gentlemen, we are asking people if you could put any superhero or villain into a sitcom, who would you choose?
Oh, obviously, Iron Man.
Indeed. Iron Man on both of you? And what show would you put him in?
Three's Company.
Now, who would you have as his roommate?
Oh, now that's a hard one, because there's just too many. One of them would have to be her.
Oh, Madison Martin, yes.
Yeah, one of them had to be her.
Pepper Potts, perhaps?
And why not? Yeah, we'll just go ahead and include her.
Yes, I mean, you would think that would be a natural. Now, who would you cast as the wacky upstairs neighbor?
Me.
Well, any chance to hang out with Pepper Potts if you could, indeed.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm here with Douglas at Indiana Comic-Con, and sir, we are asking people, if you could put any superhero or villain into a sitcom, what would you choose?
I would choose the Red Skull and Seinfeld.
That would be... Would you cast him as the Soup Nazi?
I think I would cast him as Costanza's boss.
That would be even better, I think.
Yeah. And then maybe there's an episode where, I don't know, for some reason his boss is at Seinfeld's apartment and Kramer slides in through the door, hey, bam! He zaps him, that whole thing. We'd probably zap all of them because they're Jewish.
I would think so, yes. The cosmic cube just wiped them out.
Yeah, he would be there pulling the gold teeth out of Kramer, out of Costanza, and then Kramer would, Jerry, I got some zag! And that would be the end of that.
That would, yes.
Why is he putting us in bread ovens? We're not bread! See, like that.
Exactly. It would be a very quick season.
Yes. Yeah, it would be the season ender. Yeah.
So your book is Arsenic Lullaby.
That's correct, Arsenic Lullaby. Here is the most recent issue. Oh, it's backwards. You're gonna have to hold it to a mirror.
Oh, we'll
in
be
order to
fine.
Read it. Oh, it's in the thing.
Of course, see? We're living in the bizarro dimension.
Exactly. Yes, this is the newest, the big stall. You can get it at arseniclullabies.com. And there's many horrible things in here. There's a alcoholic cereal mascot. There he is. And there's
the best kind.
Look, there's a pack of cartoon cigarettes. Remember cigarettes?
Ah, cigarettes.
Oh, the good old days.
They only have those futuristic e-cigarettes.
Yes, yeah.
Which apparently only bounty hunters from the future smoke.
Yes, you know what I do is I take the e-cigarette and I hollow it out and put a real cigarette in there, and then people don't.
They wouldn't even.
It's an e-cigarette, man. It's fine.
Who's going to
and then
say
I blow it in their face? No, it's perfectly safe. I drag it all the way down to in one puff.
And then. And you can look hip while doing it.
Yeah.
I'm here with Aaliyah at Indiana Comic-Con, and Aaliyah, we're asking people, if you could put any superhero or villain into a sitcom, who would you choose?
Malekith the Dark Elf.
Excellent choice. In any particular show?
Probably Psych.
That would be very interesting to see how those two kooky fellows would deal with him.
Oh, yes.
I would think that the crime he would commit would be very interesting as well.
I would like to see Sean try to figure out how he did it.
Especially with all the dimension hopping.
Exactly.
I'm here with Alan at the Indiana Comic-Con, and Alan, we are asking people, if you could put any superhero or villain onto a sitcom, who would you choose?
Lex Luthor.
Oh, any particular reason?
Well, he's bald. I identify with him. Plus, I like it when negative people find that they have a sense of humor.
Would you put him on a particular show?
Oh, he'd be perfect on Big Bang Theory.
He would. Yeah. He'd foiling Sheldon all the time.
The way that would be excellent. Yeah.
You are an author, I am told.
Yes, I am.
And your books are?
One is called Demons Within, and the other is called Imperceptible.
Imperceptible. And can you give us a brief run on the plots?
Well, Demons Within is about a girl who has not only personal demons, but also encounters real demons of a sort in a small Illinois town. Imperceptible is about a girl who's imperceptible. She can't speak, and when she turns 7, she becomes invisible.
Oh. So where can we find your work?
Amazon. You can find it on Amazon.com or on my. You can get it through my website, which is mindclutter.webs.com.
Excellent. Well, sir, thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you.
I'm here with John at the Indiana Comic-Con, and John, we are asking people, if you could put any superhero or villain on a sitcom, who would you choose?
That's easy. It'd have to be Rocket Raccoon.
Ah, a good choice. On any particular show?
You know what? Actually, I think he'd be kind of funny on Big Bang Theory. Like seeing him like getting into Sheldon shit and stuff, and like messing up with other comics, like eating the stuff,
eating them,
the food.
Yes.
Oh yeah. But he could work on anything. They like put him on like Battlestar Galactica, even though that's not like a sitcom. Put him on Cheers.
Ooh, Cheers, yes.
Yeah, behind the bar,
yes.
like oh god, that'd be
serving
awesome,
drinks, bouncing.
Yeah, that'd be awesome with those like giant ray guns, like shooting out like all the drunks there. That'd be awesome.
It would, or any kind of say like nature show, Animal Kingdom, or some sort of nature show where you would just have this talking raccoon walking around with all of the other animals that.
Or how about like a documentary show on like the Nazi party or something like that? Have a little raccoon with a little swastika on. That'd be fantastic. I'd love that.
So you are an artist and cartoonist?
Yes, I am. I do my own book, Wicked Nymph, and it actually has a raccoon in it. And then I also do posters and prints and stuff for shows, trading cards.
And where can we find your work?
You can find me on Facebook through my name, and then you can also get a hold of me on DeviantArt.
Excellent.
Yep.
And people can order things through you and such?
Yeah, like everything that I have like online, you can like usually drop an order using PayPal through like my email address and stuff.
Excellent.
Yes.
Well, thank you for your time, sir.
Well, no, you can't get away too quick. Who would be your superhero or supervillain?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I would probably choose Vampirella.
Oh.
And I would put her on Charlie's Angels.
Oh dear God, that would be awesome.
Yes.
Actually.
And just have it'd be 4 angels with Vampirella as one of them.
That's just like a masturbation dream right there, I think.
Lots of slow motion scenes of them running.
Or what about her on Baywatch?
Baywatch would also be good. Because she can take the sunlight. She's a vampire from an alien planet, so she's not quite a true vampire as it's seen here on Earth.
You need to make that happen.
I think we do need to make that happen.
Ice from Space, starring Edmund Ryan.
This is it, gentlemen, the Arrow B-76, photographed from our takeoff compound 2 days ago. Our radar followed her for 76,200 miles into outer space. Then our instruments were no longer able to keep track of her. According to our monocalculator, everything within the ship was behaving perfectly.
And that's the last you saw of her?
That's the last, sir. Sergeant, the lights, please. For 48 hours, there hasn't been a trace of the AR-76. Perhaps, Congressman, your investigating committee should look into the problem of who repealed the law of whatever goes up must come down.
I don't consider this a laughing matter, Major. There are millions of dollars of taxpayers' money involved here. The point is past where we can laugh at such matters.
Congressman, I think both the Major and myself understand your position. As head of the scientific division here, I'm more concerned right now with the fact that we have a new, unexplainable phenomenon. That rocket must come down. The question is, when?
You see, Congressman, our instruments indicate that if the rocket maintained its original path of ascent, it must come down within 50 miles of this post. But when? Well, I suppose there's nothing to wait for now except the reports to come in. It'll be interesting to discover when that rocket does come down what happened to our little passengers.
What about these mice?
Well, according to the boys at the rocket ramp, these particular mice they call the Flying Mice Brothers.
Mice Brothers.
It's just a joke the men have among themselves.
Joke, eh?
These mice went up 3 weeks ago in the old AR-75, 50,000 miles, Congressman. I've learned a great deal of useful information from their reactions.
A year ago, we were able to send them out 500 miles, then 2,000. Now that we're probing outer space, there's quite a lot of tension among all of us. And these little jokes, such as the Mice Brothers, help to relieve this tension.
How much would you reckon the AR-76 cost, Major?
Well, I'm sorry, sir, but I couldn't rightfully say. As you know, the 76 was designed as the first rocket to carry a man, though it hasn't done so yet.
If you're going to be close-mouthed about it, I can always appeal to Washington.
Well, my orders confined me to the launching of the rocket, nothing more. I simply followed my instructions.
Your father would have known how much was involved. Your father would have made it his business to know everything about the project.
Yes?
Major, they've tracked the AR-76. She's down.
Where?
On the Baker Ranch. They called in, said their kids have already located it in a mesquite.
Kids? Sergeant, get Lieutenant Garcia to take a detail over there right away.
Yes, sir.
Get the Baker family on the phone. Tell them that AR is government property and to keep their kids away from it.
Yes, Major.
Have him take a recovery group out there and get a report back to me as fast as possible. Now get a move on. Well, that's it. The Baker Ranch is not more than 10 miles from here. Well, she finally came down. But why the delayed return? She should have come down within hours after the takeoff. What do you make of this, Dr. Meshkel?
It's strange. Very strange.
Are you making any guesses as to what we'll find inside?
Not just now. I think we better wait and see it for ourselves.
I hope it's not badly damaged. After all, these things cost lots of money. 1 o'clock. Any idea how long before we'll be able to see it?
We'll wait for word from the recovery group, Congressman.
How much longer, Major?
I have no idea. Sergeant?
Yes, sir?
Any word from that recovery group?
Not a word, Major.
I want to be notified immediately when they're sighted. Immediately. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
It's been over 2 hours since Dr. Meshkoff left with the lieutenant. Any idea what might be detaining them? Could it be anything serious?
Might be anything. Anything from a broken axle on the tow truck to a broken head. How should I know? I'm sorry, Congressman. I didn't mean to jump on you. The heat, the pressure, and my bad manners.
Perfectly all right, perfectly all right.
Thanks.
One gets used to that sort of thing on the investigating committee. But please try to understand my position.
I believe I do understand it, sir.
The enormous amount of funds being requested by your superiors for the so-called top-secret projects is beginning to raise questions. You military people are secretive about everything except the amounts of money you require.
Naturally.
And quite naturally, my committee became curious, quite curious about these new explorations into outer space. They've expressed a desire to know why money is being expended for such items of expense as your flying mice brothers, as you put it. I'm sure your father wouldn't have countenanced this.
Will you please stop telling me how my father would have done things?
He was a great man, Major. A credit to his country and to you.
This is my problem, not his. I'm running this project, not my father. Yes?
Our retrieving group reported back, sir. They've taken the rocket over to the barn on the Baker Ranch.
Why did they do that? Order a jeep for me.
If you're going to the ranch, I'd like to go with you and see the rocket or what's left of it.
As you well know, this project is top secret. I'll have to ask you to remain here until we make our preliminary examination.
Now, see here, Dozier. I represent the Congress of the United States, and I'll brook no interference from the military.
I'm sorry, sir, but I'll have to refuse you. And don't tell me what my father would have done in my position.
According to the Baker kids, according to them, when they pried off the back plate of the rocket, they found this object inside.
And the mice?
Dead, sir. Frozen stiff. There was no evidence that the rocket had been tampered with during its ascent or descent.
Doctor, what is the possibility that something or someone could have dismantled this projectile somewhere out in space and then put in this thing?
Common sense would make me say that such a thing is an impossibility. Yet, here it is. It was not in the AR-76 when it went up. Now, here it is. Who is to say how such things happen?
Then what next?
I must have time. I must analyze this substance, test it, see what it's made of, discover its properties.
Very well, Dr. Meshkoff. My facilities are at your command.
I don't know. Perhaps it came through the hull while it was in a gaseous or liquid state. Then, once inside, it turned solid.
You mean it may have seeped through the metal?
I'm only guessing, Major. I've arranged to have Lieutenant Garcia move it here in order that it may be further investigated and analyzed, sort of in isolation. I have never seen anything like this. Harder than steel or any known alloys. Glowing like molten lava. Yet freezing the very air about it with growing intensity. Notice how cold it is in here, Major.
It must be 20 degrees colder than outside. Let's get back to the office.
Lieutenant Garcia, the film from the camera that were in the rocket.
Right here, sir.
Good. Get him to the lab, quick.
Yes, sir. Well, what have you found out? Well?
I'm afraid nothing. Nothing more than we knew before. It's a strange thing we have on our hands.
You don't have to tell me that. But I've got to report back to Washington. I want something concrete. I can't send a wire saying we have something strange in our hands.
Congressmen have sent stranger messages than that, Mr. Burns.
Now, see here, Dozier. I've taken about all I can stomach from you. You've been rude and uncooperative. And I'm going to blow the lid off this thing.
You'll do nothing of the kind. I'm slapping security on you and this entire project. This whole area is under quarantine. You're not moving out of here or sending any messages until I clear with Washington.
Major Dozier! Major!
Now, what is it, Sergeant?
It's the photo lab, sir. They say
Get to the point.
It's Lieutenant Garcia, sir.
What's happened to that film?
It's not the film, sir. It's...
Something happened to the lieutenant.
Sergeant, speak up.
He keeled over, sir. All of a sudden. He's dead, sir. He's frozen to death.
Hello, Congressman.
Major?
What can I do for you?
You'll get me out of here for one thing.
Oh?
Well, I've been willing to go along with you. Unaccustomed as I am to living in an encampment, in sleeping bags, eating out of cans, it's been a good experience for me, a good experience. For 3 days. But this is your job, your problem, not mine.
Oh, thanks.
And I think it's about time I got back to Washington.
Sort of a case of cold nose as well as cold feet, sir.
If you wish to put it that way, then why not? With that unearthly substance in the barn near the camp, why, in 3 days, it's frozen hundreds of miles of desert land in the middle of the summer.
75 miles.
75 or 175, what does it matter? Whatever it is, there doesn't seem to be anything you can do about it. It's turned this country into the Antarctic in no time at all. And with worse effects. Well, don't you consider the death of those 12 men or those youngsters, those poor Baker children? Don't you consider this a serious matter?
Now, look here, Congressman, let's get one thing straight. All personnel are quarantined on this base. No one moves out of here under any conditions until we've seen this thing through. And that means you.
Major?
Yes, Wilson?
They're making another food drop for us, sir.
Well, that shows that they still have confidence in us. I'm afraid you don't have much confidence in me, Mr. Burns.
Can't help thinking how your father would have handled this situation.
Now, look here. As a military man, I am supposed to extend you my respect. But you've got to stop needling me. I am perfectly aware of what a fine soldier my father was. However, I have my own career to make, and it will not be as Colonel Dozier's son. My career and my reputation I will make on my own or not at all.
Of course. I didn't mean to imply that you couldn't handle this problem.
Then leave me alone and let me do it my own way. I have my orders, and I intend to carry them out.
May I ask, just what are your orders?
To hold until we do away with it. Or it does away with us.
Dozier!
Yes?
Dozier!
What's wrong, Doctor?
The barn. You must come to the barn quickly. The blue ice is becoming critically active.
Does seem worse.
Much worse.
What do you mean, Doctor?
Well, after the first 24 hours, it seemed the radiations seemed to level off.
Like an invisible glacier, slowly moving, growing.
But now, its radiations have doubled in intensity.
Double? But how? Why?
6 hours. In less than 6 hours, it contaminated more of the surrounding area than it has in the last 3 days. It's unbelievable.
Yes. Even with it stretching out before your very eyes, mile after mile of frozen desert, gleaming under a hot sun at sub-zero temperature.
Can't go on like this. It mustn't. It'll happen when it's sighted by some tourist or engulfs one of these desert towns.
Fortunately, this mesa was selected originally because it was isolated. Now I've made this whole zone a heavily guarded area 500 miles wide.
But with its increased intensity, there isn't much time before the French will envelop a town here, a railroad junction there, and then the panic will begin.
I know. There must be some way. There has to be a way.
It's no use. No use. We have tried everything within our resources to destroy it, to change its substance. Heat, acids, firepower.
Don't you have any idea what it is?
A molecular structure completely unknown to us. Neither vegetable nor mineral.
I believe this frozen thing may be alive.
And possibly in communication with others on the periphery of outer space.
Others like that one?
Why not?
What would they want here?
The heat and the warmth of our world, which has been previously denied them by the protective gases that surround us, until we provided them with a conveyance, the AR-76, self-powered, designed to provide protection from the friction of descent. But who can know their real purpose? The only thing that matters now is the removal of this cosmic substance, its destruction, before it destroys us and contaminates the earth, mile by mile. Our farms, our cities.
Where do we go from here? I need a little more time to think. If only we had more money for large-scale experiments. Possibly we could solve this thing. Washington tells me our appropriation won't allow it.
I'll see that you get your appropriation the moment I set foot in Washington. The government must do more to encourage scientific research.
Thought of that months ago. I'm afraid it's a little late now, Congress.
There's got to be a way out. There's got to be.
Anything new?
Nothing at all. Ozone area keeps expanding and growing faster and faster. We are now in the middle of a patch of ice and snow 300 miles in diameter. I think we are beaten.
This can't be. We can't give up now. What would you have us do? Sit here until the whole country becomes a frozen wasteland?
Not unless you have any other suggestions, Major. As for me, I am tired.
Doctor, is the AR patched up yet?
Yes, the damage was relatively minor. It's all fixed up again, ready to fly. Why do you ask?
Oh, no reason in particular.
Surely you don't have in mind sending the 76 up again?
I don't know.
That would be madness.
Doctor, we can't sit on our hands. Something must be done.
What can we do? It might come down with still another piece of ice in it, and there, where would we be?
He's right. If that's what you're thinking of, get it out of your mind.
Gentlemen, if you'll excuse me, I've got some work to do. I'm going to my quarters. Good night, Mr. Burns. Good night, Doctor.
If I may be permitted, Congressman, you have been riding the Major awfully hard.
Yes, I'm afraid I have.
He has an enormous responsibility, not only to the men on this post, but with this new thing, perhaps to the rest of the country. Major is a very good man. He'll solve it somehow. I have the greatest confidence in him. Yes?
Still no sign of Major Dozier, sir. He's not in his quarters nor on the post anywhere.
Thank you. I don't understand it. It's been over 4 hours. Where could he be?
I hope nothing has happened to him.
Sergeant Wilson.
Yes, sir?
Have you tried the baker end? See if the Major's there.
No, sir. I haven't tried there yet, but I will now.
Good. Call me right back.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I don't know where going to find out. Wilson! Sergeant Wilson!
Yes, sir?
What was that?
I don't know, sir. It sounded like the AR-76. AR-76? But that's impossible.
It's not impossible, Congressman. Sergeant, get over to the major's quarters on the double. See if his executive officer knows anything about his whereabouts.
Yes, sir.
Get me through to the bakery.
Lieutenant Hallisey here.
This is Mesco. What's going on out there?
Sounds crazy, sir, but the AR-76 just took off.
Wait. Let's get out to the bakery lunch.
I tell you, sir, I don't understand. The corporal tells me that the major came in here and gave instructions to load the ice into the AR-76. The corporal just followed out orders. Got 3 men and they loaded it in. Then the major gave orders to clear the field. Walked over to the 76 by himself. One of the men said he thought that he saw him climb in, and well, the next thing we knew, it took off. Tell me that fool took off in that rocket. It hasn't been fully tested.
I'm afraid, Congressman, that fool did just that.
We found this in his quarters, sir.
Dear Dr. Meshkov, I hope this does not spoil any of your fancies, scientific theories, but it seemed to me like the only way. I know that eventually you would have found out all about the ice from space, but who knows how much longer we would have to wait. The only way to make sure seemed to be to go along with it and blow up the whole thing in outer space. Had I sent up the rocket alone, it might have come down again with the same cold cow. Goodbye and Godspeed. That's all there is. That's his last will and testament.
I guess that makes 2 Dozers our country has to be thankful for.
Yes, Congressman.
2 Dozers. get those ballots out of that wreck and destroy them. Climb out of here, quick! You hurt badly?
No. Those armored cars are built for protection.
The police.
Good. They'll take the bullets in the armored car and keep them until the court order to impound them comes through.
Closing in on us, Ogden. Every move we make is blocked by the Green Hornet.
Better get in touch with Max Gregory and tell him to take it easy. If the Hornet discovers he's sending munitions out of the country, we'll have the G-men on us, as well as the police and the Hornet.
Better get Max on the phone.
Yes? Max Gregory speaking. All right, put him out.
Here. Gregory, you better get that last shipment of munitions off your hands at once.
Young Roberts is making things difficult. I was about to go and see him. Perhaps you could suggest some way of putting on pressure.
I'll take care of it. He's got a warehouse at 39th and Grove, hasn't he?
With the new mayor in office, we got the hoodlums on the run. Maybe now he can take a little time off and run down the Green Hornet.
Well, that's a pretty large order, isn't it, Michael? What do you want me to do? Give you 6 months vacation with pay or something?
6 months, is it? Give me 6 days and I'll run the Spalpeen to earth. Was killed by the racketeers?
Yeah.
Well, do you think the same gang maybe started this fire?
Very likely. You go in there and find out all you can about who did start that fire. I'm going to John's office.
Yes? This is John Roberts. You say you've got the fire under control? You don't know how it started. All right. I'll have the insurance people come down. Thanks. Britt Reed. Gosh, am I glad to see you.
Hello, John. I overheard your phone conversation. So that fire did cause you considerable damage.
Yes. Of course, my insurance will cover the actual loss. But I'll lose a lot of important customers and, well...
Spell it.
That fire wasn't accidental. Someone's trying to drive me in the line, same as they did Charles.
What's the racket?
Well, it's this way. I've kept this business right up to the standard that Charles set. As you know, we do a lot of shipping by rails in carload lots. Well, the other day a fellow came in and demanded that I allow him to ship under my bill of lading. Wanted to commandeer my space.
What do you mean?
Well, if I was sending 2 cars, he'd take over 1. Wouldn't tell me who he was or what he was shipping, but he made it clear that I'd have trouble if I refused.
So that fire was the result of your refusal?
I'm sure of it. Well, there's been a series of smaller attacks. Breakdown of trucks, attacks on my drivers.
Have you notified the police?
No. You remember what happened to Charles when he went to the police.
Very well done, Dean. This fire will bring young Mr. Roberts to terms.
I have one more little surprise for him. Down at the harbor. Tell him to talk, Turkey.
Very good. I'll talk again to Roberts tomorrow.
Better not. He knows you now and might spring something. Let me handle it.
All right.
All right, John, you talk to him out here. And put Jenks in the other room so he can hear what he has to say.
I sure appreciate this, Britt.
Well, we've got to rid this city of those crooks. See you later.
So long, Britt. He's on his way up now. Better get inside. What can I do for you?
You're Roberts, huh?
That's right. What do you want?
Listen, buddy. You can save yourself a lot of trouble. We made your proposition which you refused, but in view of what happened since, maybe you've changed your mind.
You mean that you and your crowd are responsible for that warehouse fire?
Never mind that. I'm giving you one last chance to come in with us unconditionally.
Yes, but I've got to know what your name is and what you propose to ship.
You want to know too much. Look out for trouble.
Careful, Jenks. I think he suspected something.
Okay, thanks.
Sentinel reporter following me. Get him.
Follow him, Cato.
Hey, what is this, a stick-up? That's another scoop for the Sentinel. Step on it. Step on it. We're being followed. Sorry, Mr. Pitt. I have lost them.
Maybe not. I caught the license.
Nice driving, Pete. You did.
Where to now?
Max Gregory's office. Take him up by the freight elevator in the rear.
And final negotiations with Roberts are now on their way. If all goes well, shipment of arms will go forward at once. That's all. Put it in code and get it off immediately.
The private door, sir.
That'll be Dean with the report on Roberts. Let them in. What is this? What have you got here?
Sentinel man. Roberts had him planted to trail me.
What did you bring him up here for?
Well, no chance to get rid of him, and he knows too much to turn him loose.
That means we've got to strike at that shipment of his tonight. Throw him in that closet. I'll have him taken care of later. At Clearwater Junction, you board the train. You'll get your final instructions from Monroe.
Thanks for your cooperation.
The traffic bureau gave you the name of the owner of the car that carried off Mr. Jenks?
Yes, it's registered to a Max Gregory. Here it is. 311 Gardner Building. Mr. Gregory's going to be asked some questions tonight by the Green Hornet.
Roberts has again balked. The train carrying Roberts' shipment will be boarded at Clearwater Junction at midnight tonight. Roberts' cars and everything behind him will be uncoupled on the long grade west of Summit. That's all. Put it into code.
Never mind the code. I'll take it as it is.
The Green Hornet.
Give it to me.
Glad to see you, Hornet. We decided we could make good use of you in our organization if we can come to terms.
I'll dictate the terms. And I'm taking over your organization. I know all about it.
Even the Green Hornet might need help transporting secretly ammunition.
Not from you, Gregory. All I want from you is the names of your associates.
All right. You have the upper hand. I guess I have no other choice. Here's the list.
Like you asked for it. Another one, eh? What's your connection with this gang?
I'm not one of this outfit. I'm after them. I'm a reporter from the Sentinel.
The Sentinel, eh? That muckraking reform sheet. I suppose you're after the reward for the capture of the Hornet.
Reward or no reward, the Sentinel's out to get you and the rest of the crooks in this town. You keep me here, the rest of this gang's going out to wreck a train.
And blame it on me, eh? Well, I'll take care of that. Phone the police. These men are wanted for munitions and gun running. And don't try to follow me. Close. There she is. Toward the caboose.
Get out of here and jump. Come on, get out of here. Get up forward, you two. Uncouple Robin's cars.
Going up to Summit Grade. Catch her. Drop that gun and stay where you are.
Green Hornet.
Talk fast. Who's on this job with you and where are they?
What job? You got me wrong. I'm just bumming a ride.
You're here to wreck this train. Spell it or take the consequences.
No, don't shoot. I'll talk. The others are up front. You're going to...
No, you don't.
hope you have enjoyed tonight's double feature. Please feel free to email us your comments about it. Also be sure to check out our blog, Weird-O-Rama.com, Facebook fan page, Twitter page, and all of that sort of thing. So, for all of us at Weird-O-Rama and here at the Indiana Comic Con, this is Victor von Psychotron telling all of you to stay weird.
Is Baron Frankenstein. Sarah Bay is Lady Frankenstein. Only the monster she creates can satisfy her strange desires. Joseph Cotton is Baron Frankenstein, the scientist who dared to create a monster. Sarah Bay is Lady Frankenstein. She's beautiful, she's evil, and she'll do anything for love. She creates a new, more terrifying monster, and only the monster she creates can satisfy her strange desires. No man can escape her web of terror. There has never been a movie like Lady Frankenstein.
He's the champ. He's the greatest. Because when it comes to winning blue ribbons, Dad can sure show us all how. But chances are he's always too busy making life easier for others to have time to collect them. So let's all toast the great family hero with a rousing, heartfelt cheer that's well earned. Happy Father's Day, Dad.